positive 12. As I turn this over, I've got another card sheet. This is card worksheet 118 and 130. Which answer has the same absolute value as shown on the point below? So this one is at 3, so the negative 3 is also having the same absolute value. Which one has the same absolute value as the point shown below? This one's at one line to the left of 1, or 0, so you'd want the one that's one line to the right of 0. Which symbols used for absolute value? We use the bars. Ava has $50 in the bank account. She spent $70. The bank account now has a balance of negative 20. How can you use the absolute value to describe the size of the debt that Ava has in her bank account? So she had 50 and she spent 70. She's now at negative 20. So the absolute value of negative 20 shows that she's 20 below 0. Megan went for a walk. She walked 2 miles before turning around and walking back 3 miles on that same path. That means she was negative 1 miles from her original starting point. Why should you use absolute value to describe the new location? Distances can't be negative. You don't go for a walk and say that you walked negative 1 mile or negative 3 miles. You might walk in one direction and then turn around to show you walked in a different direction, but distances you don't write as negative numbers. Libby's at her house. She walks 4 units east and 8 units north. Which location is she now at? So she was at her house. She went 4 to the east and 8 to the north. She is now at the park. Libby's at the movie theater, and she walks 8 units west and 17 north. So movie theater, she's going to go west and north. She's going to be at the school. If the locations of the building are given as coordinates x and y of a coordinate plane, how could you use absolute value to find the distance between each building? You could find the absolute value between coordinates using absolute value. What is the distance between the gym and the cafeteria? The gym is 15 units south of the cafeteria, so you would just have to go south, go in that direction. A coordinate plane is used to map a home development. So again, you could kind of draw a coordinate plane. The location of the new home is at negative 510, so that'd be this way, negative 510. Another home is going to be built 25 units east, so you would have to go 25 to the east. What are the coordinates of it? So you'd have to go over 20 and up 10 to get to that one. There's one more card page. This, I can't see this card number, but this one's 105 over here. The coordinate pair 316 is reflected across the x-axis. So if you were to quickly draw this, positive 3, positive 16, this is your x-axis. So if you reflect it, then it would be oops, not the x-axis, must be the y-axis. I can't read it. So if it's across the y-axis, my apologies, then it would be over here across the y-axis, negative 3 up 16. If you put it here, then your answer would have been B instead of A. Which coordinate pair, negative 16, negative 14, reflected across the y-axis? So if you were to draw this, negative 16, negative 14, if you go across the y-axis, then you would be over here. So you'd be at positive 16, negative 14. What is the value of point C? It would be at 5. Which point is at 2, negative 3? So you got to look at your x-axis here and your y-axis. 2, negative 3 would be point B. What is the coordinate pair for point C? You would have to go negative 2 and then up 6 for C. On a number line oriented from left to right, what does the statement negative 4 is less than negative 2 mean? Negative 2 is located to the right of negative 4. On a number line oriented from left to right, what does the statement 10 is less than 25? So 10 would be here and 25 would be there. 10 is located to the left of that. On a number line oriented left to right, what does the statement 18 is greater than 0? It would kind of look like this. 0 would be here and 18 is over here. So 0 would be to the left of 18. Express the fact that 40 degrees Celsius is warmer than negative 9 degrees Celsius. Negative 9 is less than negative 40, so 40 would be warmer than that. Jake is 23 years old. Elaine is 21 years old. Express the fact that Jake is older. Jake, 23, would be greater than 21. Amanda spent 5 days at summer camp. Jake spent 3 days. Express the fact that Amanda spent more days at summer camp than Jake. 5 is greater than 3. A boat is at sea level. A stone is dropped down to the bottom of the lake, which is 75 feet deep. The stone is thrown up in the air and reaches the maximum height of 18 feet. Express the fact that the maximum height of the stone in the air is greater than the stone at the bottom of the lake. So the 18 that he threw up in the air is greater than the negative 75. We got one more page to go over with you. This is cards 81 and 71. So the opposite of negative 8/9 is 8/9. 2 negatives make one giant positive. So 2 negatives makes a positive 12. 2 negatives make a positive, but then there's still one more negative, so it becomes negative 8. Which quadrant is this pair in? Remember quadrants, we like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 12, negative 5 would be over here in quadrant 3. Which coordinate pair 2, 8 reflected across the x-axis? So if I quickly draw 2 over 2 up 8, if it's gone across the x-axis, it would be down here. So 2, negative 8. Negative 10, negative 15. So you're somewhere at negative 10, negative 15 across the x-axis, puts you over here. So you should have a, well, I don't see that. I would see that as a positive 10, negative 15. Maybe it was supposed to be across the y-axis here. Negative 10, negative 15. Maybe this is, oh, sorry, x-axis. Duh, I did the wrong one, sorry. That was the y-axis I just did. So x-axis would be up here. I was right. There it is. So negative 10, positive 15, letter A. On a winter morning in Minnesota, it was at negative 10. By noon, it was increased by 15 degrees. At 6 p.m., it was at 7. What was the temperature at 6 p.m.? So the temperature was negative 10. By noon, it increased 15 degrees. So if you were at negative 10 on a number line, just to get to 0, that'd be 10 plus another 5. So this would be your increase of 15 degrees here. By 6 p.m., the temperature decreased by 7. So here's 5. You'd have to go another 2. So you'd be at negative 2. Sorry, my kid is climbing all over. Martin climbed 120 feet up a hill. He hiked back down 35 feet. Which number represents his hike down the hill in terms of change of elevation? So since he turned around went the other way, there shows the negative 35 feet. This person's bank account balance was at 500. He had to pay this bill, so if you have to pay it, you're going to lose the money. So there's the negative $100.25. I think he went outside, Wade. What point on the number line is opposite of the point given? So instead of 5, you had negative 5. What point on the number line is opposite of 0? It would just be 0. And I think that is it.